Creating content changed my life. And I'm not saying that in the clickbaity, sell you a course kind of way. It really has. And I'll explain why. But before I do, I have a confession to make. This is not my first time creating content. I actually have other social media accounts that I still post on to this day. I bring this up not to flex or brag, but to show you that when you truly understand what it means to create meaningful content on social media, it actually becomes one of the most addicting and rewarding things anyone can do. So I'm going to do my best to explain why you need to start creating content so that it can change your life too. There are so many reasons to start creating content, and if I listed them all, this video would be hours long. So I've condensed them into 5 reasons you need to start creating content based on my own personal experience. So first off, number 1 is consistency. Content creation is all about consistency, like most things in life. You can think of it like going to the gym or even playing Minecraft, like a video game of any kind. For example, do you remember when you first hopped on Minecraft? I remember when I first played Minecraft, it was so confusing and hard, from just trying to memorize all of the manual crafting recipes in the crafting table to surviving your first night without a bed by climbing high up into the nearest oak tree. Or even when a creeper blows up a good chunk of your house just as you put the last block on to finally complete it. Actually, looking back at it, at the time, I think I would have considered Minecraft one of the most difficult games I'd ever played. But once you played consistently for a few hours or even a few days, you kept getting better and began to love it. You would slowly learn crafting recipes, learn how to fortify your next house properly so a creeper wouldn't blow it up as easily. Eventually, you would find diamonds and complete the ultimate task of destroying the Ender Dragon. By that point, you would be considered battle-hardened, knowledgeable, a true master of the game and its mechanics. This is exactly how content creation works. The more consistently you create content, the better you get at it. The first few YouTube videos, Reels, TikToks, whatever platform you decide to post on, are not going to be good, and they won't get many views, but that's okay. Because when you first start creating content, you should not be looking to get millions of views. You should be consistently posting content for the sake of getting better at it. Once you refine your skills, find a style, learn the basics of editing, and learn how to package your message into a bite-sized chunk that people will actually want to listen to, then views, followers, and much more will be unlocked. You must learn how to grow your content creation skills through consistency. That will lead to your success. Now, transitioning to the next reason 2, I would say discipline is one of the most important reasons that I'm going to describe here. And it kind of plays along with consistency, but with a different twist. I cannot tell you the countless amounts of times I have come home after work and all I wanted to do was sit down and play video games until I had to go to bed. But I couldn't. And even though I wanted to, the idea of letting you guys down by not creating a script or a video idea could take away something valuable you guys may have needed to hear. Something that if I would have let my selfish desires control me, you would have never received. This completely changed how I lived forever. It was like never-ending fuel, and this is where endless discipline is born. As I'm sure you already know, discipline is doing something productive even when you don't feel like it. By itself, it's just a word, just an idea that every fitness influencer or motivational speaker kind of tosses at you, but it never sticks. But when you have a why, a true reason to create content, discipline starts to become a habit that you just do and no longer think about. I personally have become way more disciplined because of this. And this leads perfectly into reason 3, which is meaning. Creating content when done properly creates meaning in your life. You're no longer just scrolling and consuming, you're now building. And not just for yourself, but for others too. This is massive because you're going from consuming content, which is low effort and comfortable, to starting something from ground zero that is difficult and a huge responsibility because people are counting on you to help change their lives. I don't mean that as in working miracles because only through Jesus Christ can that happen, but I mean creating content that allows people going through dark times in their lives to feel like they can escape while watching your content, or showing the pessimists that there's an optimistic outcome in their life that they're overlooking, or even just being a consistent voice in a world where nothing stays the same and everything changes. When you think of content like this, it becomes less of a fun little hobby and more of an extreme responsibility, but in the best way possible. Don't let this scare you, because the impact you have on others makes every second worth it. And I wouldn't want it any other way. Just trust me, when you start creating content and really begin to see what it does for others, true meaning and fulfillment enters your life that is unlike anything you've ever felt before. Now, reason number 4 is creating community. When you start creating content, people are obviously going to view it, even if it's just 10 people. Statistically speaking, at least one of those 10 people is bound to enjoy the content you posted, and then they follow or subscribe. This means you have a person who agrees with your ideas, your art style, your main message, your content as a whole. They're a like-minded individual, and they align themselves with your content. And once this happens, many more times a community is formed. This is where you truly see the broader impact your content has on others' lives. You get to know your audience better. You hear opinions, arguments, ideas, feedback, and just about anything else. Most importantly, you now have a group of people that are loyal to you and can connect with you and what you create on a deep level. Not just that, but through this community, you have created an escape for your followers that is outside of the confines of reality, where people can truly be themselves without anything holding them back. They can safely just be themselves and express what they believe. And it's all because you decided to create content and post it. You're called to create in order to remind people who they are and what they believe. And that is what community does. No matter how big your community is, the impact it has on others is more than you'll ever realize. Lastly, we have the 5th reason. Content creation is here to stay. Content creation is a skill. It's no longer a hobby. I mean, you can actually have a job for a company where all you do the entire day is create content and post it for them. By learning this skill, you can actually transfer it to other areas in life, from new job opportunities to freelance work and much more. Actually, just recently at my job, they needed an extra employee to help with their social media account, and I saw the opportunity to apply. I showed my boss one of my accounts, and he was so excited that he added me to the team. Again, I'm not saying this to flex. I'm saying this because it opens opportunities you could have never imagined. And if there's one thing I hope that you take from this, it's that creating content is not just about posting online. It's taking what God has given you, your ideas, your experiences, your struggles, your perspective, and offering it to others. That matters. And I think a lot of people are sitting on things they were meant to share, but fear keeps them silent. Fear of the judgment of others, or that nobody will care, or that they'll look stupid. But let me tell you something. The world does not need more people consuming. It needs more people building. More people speaking the truth, making things that mean something, creating. And that could be you. Maybe the reason this video found you is because you felt that pull already. That little thought in the back of your head, I think I should start. Start. Seriously, just start. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you have the perfect camera or you have everything figured out. I started imperfect. Every creator did. They started messy, they started small, but they started, and that's what mattered. Because they understand that only one piece of content is enough to change someone's life. So go out and create something meaningful. Now, I can't tell you how grateful I am that you watched this far into the video, and I can't thank you enough. I pray this content spoke to you today because I know each one of you has a unique calling to start posting content that changes lives. If you have any questions or experience in content creation, please comment below. I want the comment space to be an area where we all can learn and grow from each other. Again, thank you so much for watching, and God bless.